So welcome back to the online math class and good afternoon all of you. You know that before the exam we have completed up to 7.6, okay, and 7.7 and 7.8, these two chapters are excluded, deducted by the CBSE, you know that. So today we'll start from 7.9, okay. 7.9 we'll start from 7.9, okay. So that is definite integral. We have done indefinite integral before the exam. How was your exam? Tell me. Nice one. Okay, very good. So whenever we started the indefinite integral, we have said that the main motto of integration, that is the finding out the area, okay. That is the definite integral. I am telling you once again. Suppose this is a curve of a function y equal to fx, and this is a line x equals to a, and this is x equals to b. So the main motto of definite integral is to find the area between the curve y equals to fx, the lines x equals to a, x equals to b, and the x axis. A to b integration fx dx. A to b, it is written in your book, just go to page number 334, okay. We have defined a to b fx dx as the area of the region bounded by the curve, that is y equals to fx, this one, the ordinates x equals to a, x equals to b, x equals to a, this one, x equals to b, this one, and the x axis, okay. So this is actually a to b fx dx. So I have said earlier, whenever I am starting the indefinite integral, the main motto of definite integral is to find out the area. Is it all right? Is it all right, the concept of definite integral? Respond me through message. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you understand the main objective of the definite integral? Okay. Now, just move on to the second fundamental theorem. Second fundamental theorem of integral calculus. That is second fundamental theorem. Of integral calculus. We will use it. Let f be continuous function, f be a continuous function, defined on closed interval a comma b, and capital F be an antiderivative of the small f of this function, then a to b small fx dx. Here a is the lower limit and b is the upper limit of this integration, of this integral, equals to capital F of x within the third bracket, right, the limits, then it will be f of b minus f of a. This is the second fundamental theorem we will use for solving the problems, okay. That means actually you have to first of all do the integration, that means the indefinite integral, then you have to put the limits, first of all the upper limit, and then give a minus, and then put the lower limit. Is it all right? Is it all right? Do the integration first, then put the upper limit first of all minus the lower limit. Okay, let's move on to the exercise. That is 7.9, page number 338. Page number 338. Page number 338. Exercise number 7.9. Question number 1, that is integration minus 1 to 1 x plus 1 dx. First of all, do the integration. You may do first of all separation, you may do here. So minus 1 to 1 x dx plus minus 1 to 1 dx. That means it will be x square by 2, third bracket, and then write the limits outside the third bracket. The upper limit will be here, that means the superscript position, and the lower limit in the subscript position of the third bracket, and it will be x. Okay, now put the limits. So 1 square by 2 minus 1 square by 2, then 1 minus of minus 1. What is the answer? What is the answer? The answer is here 1 minus 2 minus 1 minus 2, 0. It will be 1 plus 1, that is 2. 2 is the answer, isn't it? 2 is the answer. You do it in your copy. You do it in your copy. Can I erase it? Can I erase it? Can I erase it? Is it done? Okay, move on to the next one. Question number 2. That is integration 2 to 3 1 by x dx. That means it will be log x within the third bracket, and then the limits, put it. So log 3 minus log 2, isn't it? Isn't it? That means from the property of log, it will be log of 3 by 2. And one more important thing to say here, you don't write the integrating constant c here. Okay. In indefinite integral, you have to write the integrating constant c, but here there will be no integrating constant. Move on to the next one. Question number 3, that is left for you. Try to do it at your home. Okay. Move on to question number 4. Question number 3 is left for you. Next day you will tell me if any problem. So question number 4, that is 0 to pi by 4 sin 2x dx. 0 to pi by 4 sin 2x dx. Try to do it. Try to do it. It will be minus 1 by 2 cos 2x. The third bracket and then the limits 0 to pi by 4. Now put the limits minus 1 by 2. Then first of all put the upper limit cos pi by 2 minus cos 0. That means minus 1 by 2 into 0 minus 1. That is 1 by 2. Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Is it done? Question number 4 and 5 is same. So 5 is left for you. Move on to question number 6. Move on to question number 6. Integration 4 to 5 e to the power x dx. That means e to the power x integration, you know that integration of e to the power x means e to the power x, our limits will be 4 to 5. So e to the power 5 minus e to the power 4. Is it all right? Is it all right? So move on to question number 7. You do it in your copy, okay? Integration 0 to pi by 4 tan x dx. Now the integration of tan x, tell me, integration of tan x, integration of tan x, log of mod sec x. Isn't it? Integration of tan x, now put the limits. So log of mod sec pi by 4 minus log of mod sec 0. So sec pi by 4, that is root 2. So log of mod root 2 minus log 1. Log 1 means 0. That means log root 2. Isn't it? Question number 7. You do it in your copy. Do it in your copy. Is it all right? Log root 2. You may write also this one like log 2 to the power 1 by 2, and then 1 by 2 will be coming out here in the coefficient place. So 1 by 2 log 2, you may write. Okay, but if you leave it in this place also it is right, no problem. So 7 is done. Question number 8 is left for you. Question number 8 is left for you. Move on to question number 9. Move on to question number 9. Move on to question number 9. Question number 9, that is integration 0 to 1 dx by root over 1 minus x square. It will be sine inverse x. Now put the limits, sine inverse 1 minus sine inverse 0, that is pi by 2 minus 0, that is pi by 2. Question number 9. Is it all right? Is it all right? Question number 9. Okay. Move on to question number 10. integration 0 to 1 dx by 1 plus x square. It will be tan inverse x. Then put the limits. After integration, it will be tan inverse x. That means it will be tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0. So pi by 4. Isn't it? Isn't it pi by 4? Okay, question number 11 is left for you. Move on to question number 12. Similar type of problems are for you to do in the home. Okay. Question number 12. 0 to pi by 2 cos square x dx. Just take 1 by 2 outside the integration. So 1 by 2 integration 0 to pi by 2 into 2 cos square x dx. Okay. So 1 by 2 integration 0 to pi by 2. 2 cos square x means 1 plus cos 2x dx. Okay. Welcome, Urpita. At the end of the class, I will take your attendance. Okay. At the end of the class, you just write your name and write P for taking your attendance. Now, it will be 1 by 2 integration of dx, that is x, and the limits 0 to pi by 2 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 sine 2x, the limits 0 to pi by 2. This 1 by 2 is coming out for this one. There is a 2x. Okay. So first portion 1 by 2 into pi by 2 minus 0, and the second portion it will be pi 1 by 4 into sine pi minus sine 0. Now sine pi will give you 0 and sine 0 also give you 0. Here sine will give you 0 and also here pi by pi in pi sine will give you 0. That means the answer will be simple pi by 4. Just do it and verify the answer. Do it in a copy and verify the answer. Is it pi by 4? Do it, Payal, Srijata, Urpita. Just do it in your copy and tell me. Is it pi by 4? Okay. Can I erase it? So move on to question number 13. Move on to question number 13. Move on to question number 13. Integration 2 to 3 x dx by x square plus 2. Here you have to substitute. Just take here, put z equals to x square plus 1. So dz equals to 2x dx. That means 1 by 2 dz equals to x dx. Okay. Here one more thing to do. Just you have to change the limit for the variables. The given variable is x and we have taken the new variable as z. So change the limit for the new variable. So whenever x equals to 2, it will be 2 square plus 1. So z equals to 5. Whenever x equals to 3, it will be 3 square plus 1. So z equals to 10. Okay. Just change the limit. So 1 by 2 integration 5 to 10 dz by z. Isn't it? Isn't it? So 1 by 2 log z, then the limits 5 to 10. That means 1 by 2 log 10 minus log 5. That means 1 by 2 log 10 by 5. Property of log. Log a minus log b equals to log of a minus b. That means 1 by 2 log 2. This is the first problem of the exercise for the substitution. We have changed the variables and also changed the limits for the new variable. The method is clear. First of all, you have taken z equals to x square plus 1, then do the differential, change the limit, and also change the limits for the new variable. Okay. Whenever x equals to 2, it will be 2 square plus 1. That means z equals to 5, and whenever x equals to 3, it will be 3 square plus 1. So it equals to 10. So limit will be 5 to 10. So 1 by 2 integration 5 to 10 dz by z. That means it is log z, and then put the limits. So 1 by 2 log 2. Is it alright? Is it alright? Is it clear? Is it clear? Again, question number 14 is left for you. Okay. Similar type of problems are left for you. Lots of integration have been done in the couple of months. In last couple of months actually, we have done lots of integration. So that's why similar type of problems are left for you. Try to do it at your home. So now next move on to question number 15. Question number 15, that is integration 0 to 1 x e to the power x square dx. Again put here z equals to x square. So dz equals to 2x dx. That means 1 by 2 dz equals to x dx. Again change the limit. Whenever x equals to 0, it will be z equals to 0. Whenever x equals to 1, it z equals to 1. Limit will be remain unchanged. Limit will be remain unchanged. Isn't it? For question number 15. Okay, so put it. So 1 by 2 integration 0 to 1 e to the power z dz. So 1 by 2, after doing the integration, e to the power z remain unchanged, and then the limits. So 1 by 2 e to the power 1 minus e to the power 0. That means e by 2. Isn't it? Do it in your copy and tell me the answer. Okay, one more thing here. E to the power 0 means 1. So e minus 1 by 2 actually. E minus 1 by 2. Isn't it? E minus 1 by 2. Isn't it e minus 1 by 2? Okay, so for today time is over. We have done up to question number 15, and before leaving the class, you just type your name for taking the attendance. Type your name and write P in the bracket. Okay, so that's all for today. We'll be back again here at the new class and we'll solve the next problems. Till then, goodbye and have a nice day.